Hello, welcome to whatever day it is that I end up posting this video, or whatever day you're watching this video. I hope life has treated you well in the past few months I've been away. I am officially the mother of a very cute baby boy. And while I am the most tired I have ever been in my life, I am also the most happy. That is until his witching hour hits around 6 p.m. In true mom fashion, I have a sleeping baby next to me and the dryer is going because at this point, either the washer or dryer is always going. So I apologize if there is some weird background noise, and I am talking very close to my mic so I don't have to talk very loudly. So if things sound a little funky, that's why. My husband is very into privacy, especially on any form of social media, and let's face it, he has very good reason to be. I wish there was a way for me to share more details about my son safely with my audience, but for now he will only be referred to as son, baby, boy, whatever we come up with. The baby was born in late July and made a bit of a dramatic entrance. My induction was pushed back a day and they had me come in for a fetal non-stress test since I was already over a week past my actual due date. I almost refused, thinking they were just covering their butts after pushing the induction, but thank God I didn't. After a very routine pregnancy with literally no bumps in the road, the baby's heart rate was dipping into the 80s. For those of you who don't know, a normal fetal heart rate is between 120 and 140, so 80 is very, very low. After a few attempts at getting him to stop decelerating, including putting me in some very interesting positions, the doctor said it was time for an emergency C-section. I arrived at the hospital for a non-stress test at 6:30 p.m. and he was born at 8. Once he had successfully left my body through the emergency exit, he was totally fine. So, as I said, a bit dramatic. Recovery from a C-section isn't exactly fun, and we also brought the baby home during an intense, if not short-lived heat wave. But my family got us through all of it. As we approach his 6-week mark, I still feel a little poofy around the midsection, but have otherwise returned to normal. He is a long, tall baby and has steadily gained weight. We have a lot of height on both sides of our family, so we'll all just have to wait and see how tall he ends up being. On to channel updates. This will be short because I'm making no promises, mostly because I would be lying to you as I can't keep a schedule to save my life at the moment. A loose goal is 1 video a week maybe? Likely focused on tea time with my mom as those are the easiest to produce. I know you guys like long content, but that just isn't really a reality for me right now. While the audio recording of these episodes takes less than an hour on average, actually making the video takes multiple hours, even for the short ones, and will likely have to be stretched over more than one day now. So to all those who've stuck with me, thank you. For those who are just tuning in for the first time, thank you for joining in. For the last part of this too long intro, I will do the usual YouTube plugs. Consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content, or engage with this video by liking it or leaving a comment. After a 3-ish month hiatus, it was honestly overwhelming to try and pick a topic for my first video back. There has been a lot. Since I have been gone for so long, and since my first video is now close to a year old, I figured it was probably a good idea to start over again-ish. To reintroduce myself and explain a little why these topics matter to me personally. My name is Megan, and I still get a surprising number of people who are surprised I am not a man and I am not British. As I'm hoping you can tell by my voice, I am an American woman who started a Twitter account while on her honeymoon and suffering from jet lag, not thinking it would really turn into anything. I think a lot of people have a passing fascination with Tudor history. I'm one of those people, which led me to choosing Henry VIII as a Twitter handle. This channel was started when it became clear that the vast majority of YouTube channels on this subject were angrily pro-monarchy and spreading information that is very easily debunked. My interest in the British royal family started back in 2011. There was a girl on my dorm floor who was absolutely obsessed with everything British. We stayed up until the early morning watching Will and Kate's wedding as a group, and I have very fond memories of this period of time. Afterwards, as an escape, and back before it was bought by Yahoo, I spent a lot of time in a Tumblr community dedicated to photos of the Cambridges. I have a whole video about this community and why I left it around 2014-ish. I will do my best to link that video in this video, but I think you guys all know how I struggle with that. All this to say, the base of my knowledge is from 2011 forward. This interest and discussion has served as a distraction back when it started from nursing school and going on to distract from the nightmare that was/still is the ongoing American political crisis. I get a lot of trolls screeching about why I care since I'm not British myself, and in the end the answer is I really don't. I care strongly about some of the themes Harry and Meghan's treatment revealed, like racism and sexism, abuse by a supposedly free press. But in the end, this channel is mostly made up of my observations. I try and make it clear when I am reporting facts versus speculating, and I still find the notion that I have to be personally affected to offer commentary pretty stupid. I also have noted that the "why do you care" screeching usually starts after someone can't defend their own argument. But going back to caring, my criticism of the royal family isn't personal, unlike much of the criticism thrown at Harry and Meghan, but mostly Meghan. A lot of that seems very personal. I had no idea who Meghan Markle was before she dated Harry, but from the very first photo I saw of her, I knew there would be trouble. An American, age-appropriate, career-established, mixed-race woman. The royal family and the press who cover them weren't going to like any of those points. Then combine that with the fact that she was marrying the spare. I had hoped I was wrong, and to be honest, I was wrong. I thought it would be bad, but I had no idea it would be as bad as it became. While the start of my interest in the royal family was due to the Cambridges, and yes, I will continue to pronounce their last name several different ways, my interest was of course piqued in Harry and Meghan for very narcissistic reasons. Meghan and I share a name. She even spells it right, said my mom in a very excited tone when the news broke. We both hail from California. I also view myself as a feminist with strong views and am not shy about sharing them, to a much smaller audience than Meghan Markle, of course. I too am college educated with a career that allows me to financially take care of myself. Basically, on an admittedly much smaller scale, I saw a lot of myself in Meghan, not just the shared name. It wasn't that hard in the end watching how she was treated by one of the oldest institutions in the world and their press fanboys to feel like they were attacking me and the millions of other women who also identify as being strong and independent. Watching the headlines roll in from 2016 on, I often found myself wondering what year it was, attacking a woman for opening her own door, for having been married before, for being decent at public speaking. I found myself getting very defensive of a woman I don't know, because in the end it felt like I was defending myself. Meghan Markle has been forced into the culture wars that pretty much all Western countries are engaged in right now, and to be honest, the other side has pretty big microphones. This channel, in all of its small glory, tries to present our side of this divide. So there it is, a reintroduction of sorts. As you probably could hear, the baby did not stay asleep as I was recording that. I apologize if his little noises are distracting or annoying. I look forward to chatting with you all again in the comments. Thanks again for waiting so long for me to come back. I'm really hoping that Mom and I start getting tea times out again, as those are my favorite, and of course I will be coming back to discuss archetypes. I hope this video finds you well. See you next time.